Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. This is the show that helps you become your best self. And today we are talking about how to improve your negative body image. But before we jump into that, as always, I want to invite you to come say hi to me on social media. I am at Sabrina Joy Perozzo on both TikTok and Instagram. So I'd love to get a message from you and chit chat with you. And I am totally welcome to, creating a relationship online and becoming friends because I want you to know that I want to talk to you. I want to know what's going on and how you're doing. And if you have any feedback for me, how things can be better, what I could talk about that would really help you create that relationship. If you do have more that you would like to say and you don't like social media, totally fine. You're welcome to send me an email at realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. Maybe you have a question or comment, feedback, suggestions, prayer requests, whatever you have. You can go ahead and send me an email. If you do have a topic suggestion and you do not want to directly reach out to me because you don't want me to know that it was you, totally fine. In the show notes below, there is a link for you to submit an anonymous topic suggestion, and you can just type it in there. And I check those like once a week, and I can use your topic suggestion for an upcoming podcast episode. So consider doing that. The other thing that's in the show notes below is for you to sign up for my weekly newsletter that comes out every Wednesday afternoon slash early evening. And I have like two little tidbits in there where it's like therapy corner where I talk about something either I've been talking about in therapy or something that is very important and therapeutic that I think could really help you. And then also I talk about this, it's called like random things. And it was supposed to be like a space for me to share something short and random, and they've gotten just a little bit longer. So it's like there's two like sections where I'm like trying to help you with a situation that I've been through or something that I feel like is really helpful for you to know and understand that could better your life. I'm also there to announce like when things are coming out. Like I'm writing a book right now that I'll announce when you can sign up via email to kind of like not pre-order, but like pre show your interest in that. The next newsletter that's coming out, I will also have an email sign up for people to submit their email if they would like to be on the list when my emotional wellness planner comes out. And just like to be know, just to know that like, hey, this is going to be for sale. So you'll just know when those things are out. And then it just gives an update on maybe podcast episodes that you missed and any other news and things that could be helpful. So anyway, check all that out. There's other things in the show notes below, but let's just jump into today's topic, which again is how to improve your negative body image. So, you know, even saying this, even saying the title, when I like do the opening of the show was like so uncomfortable for me, to be honest. It's a dangerous game talking about body image on the internet, especially these days. Everyone is hypercritical of everyone that talks about it. But I'm going to do it anyway because I don't want to shy away from a challenge and something that I find important to talk about. And I have finally gained the courage to do so. And I'm actually talking about this because I was inspired by my own TikTok video, which I know sounds kind of vain, but I spoke about body image briefly within the series that I'm running over there. The series is called like What's Getting in Your Way of Becoming Your Best Self. And I'm doing like a new video every single day. And I'm probably going to end up doing like 10 or 15 different parts or different videos on different things that are getting in your way of becoming your best self. And negative body image was something that came up recently. And it seemed to really hit a chord positively with people. And I was like, maybe I should talk more about that to see if it's helpful. And if it's not, maybe we'll still keep talking about it. I don't know. It just depends on people's feedback. So, anyway, yeah. But yeah, it's something that I've never really spoken about here either. And I think could be helpful to talk about it from like my mental health and mindset angle and the knowledge and research that I do and the way that I see it. That will focus on having the mindset that best supports you in continuing to change yourself as you see fit to become your best self, because I am here to help you become your best self. And that takes so many different things and pieces of knowledge for you to learn and understand and then want to apply and take action on in your life. And so I was like, okay, we can do this. We can do this. Okay. So, So if you don't think, let me just preface it real quick. If you don't think that you struggle with body image, I do encourage you to just like, hang in there because either something that I say will strike a chord with you and then you will realize, maybe I do struggle with that just a little bit, like, or maybe you know someone that does. And what I'm going to say will help you help them, which is also really nice. Or maybe you just want to know the knowledge just in general in case you come across someone that needs this help in the future. So, either way, I do encourage you to stick around. So, I want to begin this by saying that I'm not here to tell you to just accept yourself as you are forever. I'm not. I'm here to start with the hard truth. I am not here to be like, yeah, you just need to accept who you are right now, forever. And that's just who you're going to be, right? That would be considered a fixed mindset. If that confuses you, I did a whole episode talking about fixed versus growth mindset a couple episodes back. Check that out. That will really help you. But I would say that this would come from someone that has a fixed mindset. It's unreasonable to ask someone to just accept the person they are now, like right now, and allow that to be the standard forever. And I know some people are going to be upset about this because it's preached that we need to just accept who we are and like not feel like we need to change like at all one bit and everything is fine, right? Everything like, oh no, you're fine. You're fine the way you are. Everyone just needs to accept you how you are, and you need to accept yourself how you are right now forever. But everything isn't fine, right? And the evidence of that is knowing that you're feeling negatively about how you look, and those emotions are getting in the way of you being confident, being comfortable, and willing to push through setbacks and accomplish your goals. So I am definitely not on board with the whole like, yeah, just accept where you are right now forever, and that's just who you'll be forever. And, people will have to deal with it, or you'll just have to accept it because that's where you need to be fully accepting of your body. I do not agree. But I'm also not saying that you need to drastically change either. I'm not. I'm not at all. Even in the TikTok, I made sure to be very clear to say that if you don't want to change your body, then don't. You don't have to. It's not like a necessary thing. The key thing I want to talk about today is that you need to narrow down the change that would work best for you right now. And I want to emphasize right now, presently, today, right? And continue to pin that down as you transition into different seasons of life because your life is going to change. If you actually took the time to reflect back on your year, on your past, like go back like every 2 years, at least that's what my husband and I do in our life. Things are so drastically different. Like maybe you're at the same job and maybe you have the same amount of kids or maybe you have the same like responsibilities, but there are going to be things that have changed, even just in the way that you think about yourself, your mindset, your mental health, your friends, like the things that you are hobbies involved in, and all these things. Maybe even some of your interests. Things change all of the time, all of the time. Um, and it's important to remember that because it's important that your needs for today are different from the needs that you had like a month ago or a year ago. And they're going to be different from the needs that you have 2 years ago. So you need to figure out what is contributing to you having this negative image of yourself and what you should do to shifted it into something more neutral. And I definitely wanted to make sure that I said neutral and not just positive, like not completely positive, because maybe that's not what you're going for, and that's okay. It's totally fine. I would just say at a minimum that your body image of yourself needs to be neutral, where you're just like, I do feel good. I'm not ecstatic, like the top to be top, but I'm also not like crying in my pit of despair that my body is terrible and I don't like it and it's like blah. You know what I mean? But yeah, we need to really narrow down the change that would work best for you right now. And you'll continue to do that for the rest of your life because you'll have different needs and desires as time goes on. So, and we'll get more into that as we go through the tips. But I did want to mention that, when someone is experiencing negative body image, they can be really concerned with how their body looks, especially, I would say, number one is in comparison to someone else's body, or they feel down about their body because someone passed like negative judgment on them, hurled their negative, awful opinions on them, and maybe implicated they needed to change to become more desirable or more able to find a partner, or more able to just be accepted in life and have friends and have people that actually love and care for them and appreciate them. And it sucks. All of that really sucks, right? As things that contribute to us feeling the way we do. And thinking negatively about your body can also lead into a lot of other problems and struggles that are way more harmful, like hurting yourself and, needing to be like anorexic or bulimic or feeling like you need to. You don't need to, but feeling like you need to do those things. And, crash dieting and all these things that are so super unhealthy for you. And so I think it's very important for people to learn about negative body image and just like, or really be aware of the body image that you have of yourself so that you don't easily like slip into these other more harmful things that are a lot harder to recover from, if we're going to be honest. And, me personally, I normally like start the top of the episode with like a quick little memory of how this relates to me. But I developed my own body image issues when I was told by my dad that I was fat. And I don't think I was a teen quite yet. I think I was almost a teen. And I remember it so well and being like, oh my gosh, like, really? Okay. And naturally, as I grew up into a teenager and being in high school, it became worse because that negative body image just became worse because I wanted to be able to buy clothes in the same sizes as friends that I had so I could trade clothes, but that never happened for me. And unfortunately, like my best friend, she was probably like a size, I don't know, like two, maybe 2 or 4 at the most, right? She was very thin. Um, and that was never going to happen, right? I feel like I did, in the times that I saw my older sister, I was able to like share clothes with her because I remember very specifically, she gave me like a couple dresses and they fit and I was able to exchange with her. But that wasn't even until I was probably like a senior in high school. But I just so desired to like have that relationship with friends and be like, yeah, let's trade, or I let me borrow your top and dresses and blah blah blah. But that never happened. I wanted that so badly, especially since my like teenage job, the one I spent the longest time in was working at a retail store, and so of course I wanted to buy clothes and then share them with other people, whatever. But that never happened. And to think I was only size 8 or 10 at the biggest back then, and that was like such a bad thing, not a good thing, right? Um, Not even as heavy as I am now, like for sure. And it's sad, when we look back on what led us to feeling the way that we do about our bodies, because in hindsight, it's easy to wish we knew better than to listen to other people's opinions or to compare ourselves to others, right? We're like, oh, why? Why did we listen to them? Why did we, like think we had to match everyone in all of those like magazines? And why did we feel like we needed to compare ourselves and we weren't, uh, as good as a person or someone that the boys thought was cute because we weren't like a size 2 or something or 4? It's just crazy, right? And ugh, it's nerving and it's bothersome. But, you know, we look back and we're like, okay, well, how can we impart that knowledge to our kids or our friends, our people now, young people growing up now, and really be like, it's okay. You don't have to like hate your body. Like, it's not a thing. You don't have to compare your body, all this stuff. So anyway, it's very interesting just to like look back and think like, oh my gosh, why did I let that happen? But we all grew through it, right? So, and as I mentioned before, Having a negative body image will impact your ability to have self confidence, to feel comfortable with who you are, and be willing to push through setbacks to fulfill your goals and aspirations. So, let's break these down really quick. The lack of confidence comes from not believing you are good enough because you don't look like others. So again, with the comparison. So you're like, oh, I don't feel confident in who my body and how I look and how I can present myself to society and everyone in the world. Because you feel like you're just not good enough because you don't look like the other people that are getting the praise and recognition and all of this positive attention, right? Or you're being told that you aren't good enough because of how you look. People are directly being like, yeah, you're not good enough to be in the play because you don't really look and fit any of the character descriptions because you look like this or you lack this, that, or the other. You know what I mean? Or you're not good enough to, be on the school team because you don't look fit, right? Or you're being told that you're not good enough because we would never hire people that look like you because it wouldn't fit the brand here or any of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And I don't mean brand just like in fashion. I mean like brand like working in an office or working in a some sort of retail place where it's very front facing, like selling not clothing, selling something else, right? Where you just have to have this like certain appeal, supposedly, right? So it's like you're gonna lack that confidence, and it's gonna suck, and it's gonna not allow you to be able to tap into that confidence when you really want to go after things that are important to you. And you'll also struggle to feel comfortable with how you look because you might feel self conscious that others are constantly judging you and you feel like your body just isn't right, right? It just doesn't feel right because it doesn't feel like it's similar to anyone else's in the slightest. And you're constantly thinking like, oh my gosh, are they making fun of me? Are they talking about me? Are they making jokes about me, gossiping about me? And especially when you're like in school, that was definitely happening. But I feel like there are there are adults out there that are still gossiping and saying negative things about people based on their looks and their outward appearance, because because they're putting their insecurities on display, like I say, and they just can't help themselves to be like the bratty people that they are, right? But them being bratty affects you if they have done that to you in the past, or you have this fear that it is going to happen because you just feel like eyes are on you and just you don't feel like you are the person that you need to be to succeed in your life, right? And it will affect your desire to push through struggles that will help you become stronger because mistakes and failures best learning lessons ever, as we know here. But yeah, it'll affect your desire to push through struggles that will help you become stronger and be more prepared to accomplish your goals because you won't believe you are worthy of doing so. You might think that it's pointless because you won't be appreciated like others are, and you stop believing in yourself. And obviously, none of this is good. So, if you're going to stop believing in yourself, then you're not going to continue to move forward and try new things. You're not going to like put yourself out there and take as many risks, right? And if you think that it's just pointless for you to try, again, you're just going to give up and be like, well, I just feel hopeless and there's no reason for me to do any of this because it's not going to turn out the way it does for other people. And I'm not going to receive the same amount of, attention and appreciation and even care in training or learning or being taught how to do something, right? And then you won't believe that you are worthy of even going after and trying any of these things because uh, you don't feel like you fit the quote unquote requirements of doing these things and being engaged in these things because of your negative body image. So it just all sucks, right? It's just so difficult. The things that we allow, and I say allow because we all have to take responsibility for our mindsets, even if other people and their wicked, wicked ways have contributed to those things, we still have to take responsibility. But the fact that we just allow our mindsets to be so burdened and overwhelmed with these negative mindsets is it's just tragic. But again, that's why I'm here to help you, shift those mindsets and love yourself more and become your best self by realizing that you don't have to stay in this mindset at all and let these things hold you back. So today, I want to share with you 5 tips on how you can improve your negative body image into something more positive or neutral that will benefit your mindset and allow you to live your best life. So, we got 5. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So, I would say these are kind of like in order. Of course, you don't necessarily have to do these in order, except for the first one. So, number 1 is don't change anything, like anything at all, until you know why you have a negative body image. You have to know why, right? You have to know what's going on. Like, what is causing this? What is contributing? Why am I here? And then you can make the changes. And then you can move towards growth. And then you can move forward. You have to know. You have to know what led to this mindset so you're able to fight against it and not let it rule your life. You have to. And that goes with everything, not just this. Like, even like you need to know why you are afraid of certain things or why you will not try new things or why you don't think that you would be good at this and that or anything else or why you don't believe you're worthy of being in a relationship where you are treated like an equal and have respect. You have to know why. So figure out if it's judgments and opinions that you have internalized from the past and from other people, or maybe it's just this internal desire that you need to look and be like others to succeed in like their similar ways. Or it could even be past rejections from others. And, it could be romantic ones, it could be ones getting a job, and a certain activity you want to do, etc. But yeah, it could even be past rejections from others that have you believing that you're not good enough. So once you figure out like what fed into you having a negative body image, like I told earlier, uh, when my parents actually told me that I was fat, and then I also felt this desire and need to, match up with my friends in school to be able to share clothes and feel like we're all on the equal playing field. And that's where mine was bloomed and continued to blossom over time. So you just need to figure out where yours was planted and bloomed and follow that trajectory wherever it goes so you know where the baseline is for overcoming and improving this negative body image. Okay? All the rest of these, the other 4, do them in whatever order you like, but I do believe the order here will be super helpful. So, whatever you want. Oh, and as I always mention, this is just all based on my own knowledge. If you don't feel like any of these tips will help you, seek a professional therapist or counselor to help you figure out what will help you improve your negative body image, because this is based on my own knowledge, research, and personal experience. And I'm just here to offer advice for you to try if you think it would be helpful to you. And as always, there's always Google, your best friend, where you can find so many answers to life if these are not helpful to you. Okay, on to number 2. Number 2 is to accept the body you have in this capital THIS this season, but create goals to achieve for the future. Okay? Accept the body you have in this season, but create goals to achieve for the future. I think one of the places people really get hung up on in regards to negative body image is not learning to accept where you are presently so you can strategize what you can do to grow and evolve as time goes on. And to be honest, I think this applies to everything in life. If you're not able to accept the fact, like accept where you are right now in your life, it'll be very difficult for you to figure out how to move forward because you think that where you are is a fantasy or you shouldn't be, or you're very like reluctant to be like, yeah, this is where I am. These are the struggles that I'm going through. These are the problems that I have. These are the mistakes that I've made. No, you want to be like, oh, it was everyone else's fault. Now I need to figure out how to move forward. So step away from the victim mentality and just accept where you are. So with this, accept where your body is right now. And it's okay if it's not where you want it to be. And just so you know, when I'm talking about negative body image, I'm not just talking about people that feel like they're overweight. I'm also talking about people that are like underweight and they want to gain weight, but they have their own they have like mental things that are preventing them from doing that. Right? It's a myriad of different body types. So just so you know, I'm not just talking to people that feel like they're overweight. I'm talking to people anywhere and everywhere where they are displeased with their body. But yeah, I just feel like, people get really hung up with not realizing they need to accept where they are right now. You need to accept where your body is right now. There's no time machine. We can't go back in time and change what you did or what happened to get you there. You're just here. This is where you are right now. Okay? Nothing is going to change that fact. I promise you. So accept your current circumstances, but remind yourself you're not being held hostage where you're at, right? Figure out what to do next. You're here. How do you get to there? Not, oh, I don't want to be here. I should have been there. I should have been, should have. We should have been a lot of places, right? But we're here. This is where we are right now. So accept where you are right now. Know that you can change, you can grow, become different if you want, if you like. And then you need to figure out what to do next. Okay? So you have figured out why you have negative body image. You are accepting your body in this season right now. And then number 3, next, you're going to find appreciation in your current body. This might sound lame and cheesy. Totally fine. Totally fine. But we need to spend more time appreciating what's happening in our lives and not taking everything for granted. This is something I haven't really touched on in a while. There are certain things I like hammer home till the cows come home. I think right now my thing is victim mentality because it's important for people to take responsibility for themselves. But I used to talk so much about gratitude and being appreciative, which I need to like readopt because it's important. It's super important. We need to spend more time appreciating what's happening in our lives right now and not always desiring for what's in the future and mourning what's in the past, right? And this will be tough. This will be a tough task for some. I'm being honest. I'm not going to lie to you. This will be a tough task for some. But I want you to find 2 to 3 things you can honestly say you appreciate about your current body before you start creating any change, right? Because it's important that you've accepted your body. You're like, this is where I am. This is the starting line. Now, what can I appreciate about my body before I go and change it? Because let's show it a little love, right? So find 2 to 3 things you can honestly say you appreciate about your current body before you start creating any change. An example of this is like it has stayed healthy, right? It has stayed healthy. I haven't had any big medical problems. It has fought through tough sicknesses. A lot of us went through that pandemic and went through sicknesses, and it has persevered for you. Another example could be it grew your children if you're a parent. Like it helped you grow the children that you now have. And, I appreciate my body for doing that, growing the one child that I have, and it's amazing. I'm so, so appreciative. So find 2 to 3 things, take some time, and be like, okay, and write them down somewhere so that you're not like sitting around thinking for another 15 minutes, like, what can I choose? I don't want to choose anything. Because I know that some of you are acting like that. I know that you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. But you need to do it, okay? 2 to 3 things. 2 to 3 things. Number 4, the next thing that you need to do, or that you could do, that would be helpful, and this is the big one, I would say, is decide what you want versus what you need to change. Decide what you want versus what you need to change. You don't have to change anything physically about your body if you don't want to. It's not a requirement, you know? You don't change anything physically about your body, but you do absolutely 110%. you do have to change your mindset about it, right? You can't just be living in this negative body image like it's the best thing, because it is the same as sitting in your pit of despair. And as I talk about often, that's not a place you want to be. You don't want to put up rent there, right? That's not your home. Okay, you just slid down there because you didn't take caution as you were going through the hard times. But you can climb on out and be free to figure it out and move forward, right? Same thing. You do need to change your mindset about it. So if the change you need is to make it so that you're fine with whatever opinions and judgments are from others, and you allow yourself to be bothered less from that, so be it. That's one of my goals. It's one of my goals this year. Become more unbothered, like as much as I can, right? So that I don't allow those opinions and judgments to affect me and dictate my life. And that's not what you want to do either, right? So maybe that is the change that you decide to do. Or maybe you'll decide to change your outlook on what you can do by seeing the whole thing from a new perspective and gaining confidence that way, right? And that's totally fine too. So maybe you're like, I can be a weather person. So super random. I think that example is on the top of my head because there's a lot of like weather people that I watch on TikTok. They just like randomly like live streaming being at work. Because it's usually like I'm watching TikTok maybe at like midnight and they're already at work across the country. And so I see them and that's why. So sorry, super random. I didn't like actually like pre-plan that in my notes. It's just like that's what came to me. But yeah, so maybe you're like, okay, I didn't think I could be a weather person because I thought that I wasn't as cute and fit as I needed to be on television. But instead, I'm going to have a new perspective and gain confidence in thinking, oh, okay, well, that doesn't matter because if I'm able to do my job well and I can get the training and knowledge and degrees that I need to do that and be professional, then I can do that. What's stopping me, right? Only your mindset, you know? Maybe and that's great. But maybe you do want to change your body, you know? Maybe you do. I know I do. I tell you what, that's why I work out. Because, if you want to change your body, that's good too. It's good. It's acceptable. It's fine. I see a ton of confusion. It bothers me so much. And I don't know what to say about it really, but I see a ton of confusion from people on accepting your body as it is and encouraging people to not do anything about it because physical health isn't necessary when you accept your body. And that's not true at all. It's not. You can't just be like, yeah, accept your body but you can only accept your body if you don't work out and don't try to make your body different and better because that's not accepting your body. That's only wanting it to change and that's negative. No. That's a bunch of crap, I'm telling you. It's not true at all. You can accept your body and want to work on it by keeping the simplest thing would be like cardiovascular health in check. So just because you walk on the treadmill or you take walks outside or you like to hike or maybe you like to do the elliptical or walk on the stair stepper or do sprints, like whatever it is. Because even it's like at the minimum, we should all be working on our cardiovascular health in whatever way that we find more fun, most fun rather. We should be doing that, right? You can accept your body and still make sure that your heart is going to keep beating as healthfully as it can, okay? Even changing your diet isn't anything bad because it doesn't need to be about losing weight. No, it doesn't. But just about, it can be about keeping your body healthy with all the nutrients that it needs. Maybe you're lacking nutrients, right? I'm not saying you have to like not eat a bunch of stuff. I'm just saying like you're going to alter it a little bit so you get the nutrients that your body is needing that maybe it was lacking, right? And maybe you need to be aware of things that like affect your blood sugar. Not necessarily because you're struggling with or on the cusp of diabetes, but just, it just affects you in a way. Or even just how your stomach feels, right? Maybe things just don't make you feel as good, or maybe you can't eat like you used to and you need to clean it up a little bit just for the sake of feeling good inside your body. I hope someone's hearing me. Um, you can change your body to just be a healthier version of itself and slowly build on that as time goes on. So, you may want your body to be super duper skinny in comparison to the people that you see in your life, but that's probably not what you need, right? You need your body to either just stay the same and just, change things so it's, you know, still keeps going and is healthy with your heart and with your all your other organs and the diet that you have to make sure you have everything that'll, keep you going and making you feel your best every single day. Or you do have like a medical condition that would actually decrease significantly if you did decide to, you know, lose some pounds, if that's the decision and choice you made. For example, I went to the sleep medicine doctor last week, earlier this week, I don't remember. In the last week, I went and I had done an at home sleep test and all this stuff. And I already knew she was going to say this to me, but she did reiterate the fact that, hey, if you want to snore less and have your sleep apnea numbers go down, you could lose weight. And I was like, yes, I know. I have done that in the past and it has significantly helped. So, maybe there are certain medical conditions or issues that you're having, and those things would be better if you lost weight. Okay, do that. But you have to make that choice on like what you need in comparison to just like what you want, which might be something that even your genetics won't allow you to have, right? Maybe you got down to the thinnest that you could, and you're still not going to look like this other girl because that's not your genetics. Like for me, I can honestly tell you that if I got down to the thinnest I could, I still wouldn't look like my best friend in high school, right? She was thin as a rail, beautiful, but thin as a rail, and I was built with curves. Okay, she was not. So, and that's nothing bad on her. It's just that we're built differently, different genetics, different capabilities of what our body can get to. So just know that you get to decide what you want versus what you need. Go with what you need. It doesn't have to be a physical change if you don't want to. It needs to be a mindset change for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. But if it is a physical change, don't feel shameful about that. You can still love your body and appreciate it and accept it for what it is and still want to change it over time and know that you might need to do more change in one season than another season. And that's okay because you just want your body to be the best it can. And maybe being thinner a little bit is good for you. It's healthy for you. And that's what you need, right? I think that's what we that I think that concludes that. So just know that it's okay, both ways, whatever way. No matter what, though, your mindset has to change. Okay, number 5 in the end, because this one's going really long. I apologize. But if you're still here, we're about to end. So, number 5, I knew number 4 was going to be long. Number 5, our bodies don't define who we are and what we can do. Our bodies don't define who we are and what we can do. They do not. I know that there are some things physically that people in bigger bodies can't do because of weight limits. But if you wanted to do those things, you could create a plan to become eligible for those activities. I'll tell you right now, my husband and I went to Cabo San Lucas. We went to Mexico together for the first time to celebrate our belated 15-year wedding anniversary. I couldn't go because of the pandemic. uh, so we went there. But the thing that freaked me out is that there are certain things we want to do. What is it called? Sky parasailing. Parasailing. But activities like that have a weight limit, right? And I'm not a slight girl. And it kind of freaked me out that I was worried that our weight together would be too much. It turns out it wasn't. It was fine. But I knew, like, I did the research before we went, so I knew. And I did actually put in a few extra, like, training sessions because I wanted to make sure that I was still going to hit, I wasn't going to like push us over the weight limit to go on this fantastic opportunity to parasail just because I was overweight, right? Now, that might not bother some people, but I wanted to do that. I wanted to. Like, no one was pressuring me. I wanted to do that, right? Um, and so I made I planned for it. I made changes so that I made sure that I wasn't going to exceed the weight limit for that activity. So just because there may be like limits for people in bigger bodies, if you decide that you want to do that thing, you can figure out a plan to become eligible to do those things. But just because our bodies don't look the way we want right now doesn't limit us from making decisions to pursue things or come up with new ideas or to try new things, right? Just because you're in a bigger body doesn't mean that you can't be some high powered lawyer or doesn't mean that you can't be the best team leader at work or doesn't mean you can't have like a smoking hot partner. There's so much controversy about a certain couple online because the gal is, she's a bigger girl. It's totally fine. And the guy is like cut like friggin' Eric from The Little Mermaid. And they give that couple so much crap because in their minds of what society has told us is the ideal body types, they don't belong together. People say they don't belong together, and it's such crap, right? It's such crap. But you can defy those limits that people are trying to place on top of you by being like, no, my body does not have to limit what I'm able to do. I can still pursue things and try new things despite how I look right now, because maybe you're making changes to help yourself be more accommodating to do those things. You know what I mean? Because you made that decision. So, if there is something our body can't do, we can figure out how to get our body to where it needs to be and try it out. You know, we can do that work if we choose to, if it's important to us. We won't be able to do everything though, because we all have limitations, even outside of body size, right? So just because you can't run a marathon because of bad knees, right? That can happen to whether you are in a bigger body or not. Or you can't sing on Broadway because you don't have the voice to do that, right? Or do comedy because you don't tell jokes well. Doesn't mean you can't do other things really well, no matter what you look like, right? We all have limitations because we all are, capable of a lot of things, and some things just aren't meant for us. And I'm not saying that you only can do specific things. That would be a fixed mindset. No, you can do a lot of things. You can learn how to do a lot of things. But sometimes there's just going to be things you will never be able to fully do because it's not your thing, right? It's not your thing, and that's totally fine. And again, just as we close, it's okay to want to improve yourself. Okay? No shame in that. We all have room to grow and change in so many ways outside of even just how we look. We just have to find the way that best fits us. So if that means changing your body shape, okay. Or if that means just making sure the inside of your body internally is healthy and rocking, okay, great. Or if it's just the mindset of you accepting where your body is right now and then figuring out what needs to happen in the future, just so you are at least neutral about it, that's great too. So just make sure that you do your best to improve that negative body image in your mind at the very least, so that you're not feeling sad about yourself because you're amazing no matter what you look like. But that's all I have for you today. So thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. Thank you for listening, downloading, and sharing the show. You guys are all fantastic. Don't forget to visit me on social media, send me an email, suggest a topic suggestion anonymously, sign up for the weekly newsletter, and anything and everything else I forgot to mention that is conveniently in the show notes below. But until next time, have a good one, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.